a cheerleader here at Brewer High School, and welcome to Channel 5 sports coverage of Class A high school basketball. Let's go Brewers! Live from the Bangor Auditorium, it's Big East basketball as the Rams of Bangor meet the Witches of Brewer.
Welcome in. It's not tournament time yet, but it's getting awfully close, especially for Brewer, who's having to fight tooth and nail just to get enough heel points to get him close. Bangor coming in number one in the latest heel point standings. Good evening. I'm Tim Throckmorton, joined by Tom Winston and Mike Hale for this one. Tom, Brewer, almost getting to be desperate time for them. They've got to have one sooner or later in a big heel point win.
No question. You know, you can bring out every cliche you want to bring out, but the bottom line is Brewer's got to win this ball game. You look at the points that they have left, they have some point-worthy teams, but it's got to start mentally for them tonight. Should they be successful tonight, you never know where they're going to go the rest of the year. I think this team hasn't seen their best play yet this year. Hopefully they'll do well tonight and have a good ball game and see what happens.
Anybody that's seen Brewer knows how much talent there is on this team. Will they put it together? As Tom says, it'll be a tough thing to do against a Bangor team that's sort of finding its identity and getting better all the time.
That's right. Roger Reed has his team right now where he wants them to be. They're playing good basketball all the way around on both offense and defense. Well balanced on offense with Jason St. Pierre, and they're doing the things the coach is asking them to right now. But I'm sure they're not looking past this Brewer team. They've had a tough battle with them before, and it's just a real good experience for these teams to come in here and play at the Auditorium just a couple of weeks before their tournament comes up. So it should be a lot of fun tonight.
This is the third time these two teams have met this year. Bangor has won both of them. The last encounter was last week, and there was a good crowd on hand at Bangor High School. A good crowd in tonight as well, getting up ready for this Bangor Brewer game. Right back with the starting lineups after this.
Channel 5 sports coverage of high school basketball is brought to you by your main GMC truck dealers, the only pure truck dealer with the strength of experience.
Maine is still unique from the rest of the nation.
Mainers still think for themselves and come to conclusions based on their own experience.
And for making GMC more popular here than in any state in the nation, your Maine GMC truck dealers say thank you, Maine.
There's still only one way to know why you see more GMC on the road in Maine than in any state in the nation.
One test drive today and you too may say it's GMC Pure Truck for me.
And the family.
The design experts at Hammond Lumber Company are ready to help you.
Hundreds.
Whether you're building a new one or remodeling an old one. The Hammond people will turn your ideas and rough sketches into clear pictures and plans, and they'll show you Hammond's huge selection of wood cabinets with all the latest features available at factory direct prices. So when you're ready for your next kitchen, talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
Hey, Coach, it's almost game time. Where's your team and your fans?
Where do you think they are at tourney time? With an all-you-can-eat salad bar at Miller's Restaurant, I won't see them till tip-off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bangor Auditorium. It's nice to be able to say that, and it almost sounds like tournament time, which is not too far away, but this is really a great opportunity for these two teams to get some playing time, Tom, on this Bangor Auditorium floor. It always helps just a little bit when tourney time rolls around, and maybe to calm down some of those tournament jitters if you've already been here during the regular season.
Oh, certainly, Mike, and I just feel that Brewers got some jitters tonight for another reason. This is almost a must-win with respect to the point system as far as Brewers are concerned, and Bangor has handled them a couple of times this year in an unusual situation with Bangor and Brewer playing for a third time this year, something that is not usually happening between these two rivals. But it's certainly a game that Brewer needs to win in order to put themselves in position for a late season run at the tournament.
The first time these two teams met, as we see Mark Savage over on the Brewer bench, the first time they met, actually Brewer led 41-38 with 2:35 left in the game. A couple of big costly turnovers, Bangor taking advantage of that, so Brewer could have easily won that first game.
I saw that game, and it was a good ball game. Brewer did have a chance to win it without question.
And we see the brand new standings Mike Savage has put together, and Bangor has moved up to number 1. And you might notice down in the sixth position, you got Coney, Mount Blue, and Skowhegan all knotted right up with 50.61 index points down there. Brewer is down at number 13, so you can see why tonight's game is so very important for the Brewer Witches.
No question. They need the preliminary index that Bangor would give them in the victory tonight to set themselves up for a late season run.
Well, these teams, of course, played last Friday. Bangor cruising pretty much to an easy win in that one. So these two teams have seen each other very recently, less than a week. So these teams probably know each other just about as well as they can.
There's nothing that Roger Reed is going to hide from Mark Savage and vice versa, Mark from Roger. They're both very well coached teams. Both teams know what they're going to do, what the other team's going to do, and it's certainly just a matter of coming out and executing better than the other team.
It's interesting to note that Brewer almost beat Old Town, another one of the top teams in the standings this year. So Brewer has proven that they do have the horses. They can win some of these games. They would like to have some of them back, actually, that were real close. So they could be in a very different situation if the ball had bounced a little differently earlier in the season.
Oh, there's no question. You know, we mentioned the Old Town game. As you just mentioned, we mentioned the Bangor game earlier. They had a chance to win that ball game, and you know, things may have been different right now.
They lost to Old Town by 3 points in overtime. Right now, let's go get the lineups for this evening's contest.
A senior, number 22, Gavin McCarthy. A junior, number 24, Jake Cibiello. A senior, number 30, Matt O'Connell. A junior, number 32, Mike Wilcox. A senior, number 40, Tim Wright. A sophomore, number 42, T.J. True. And a senior, number 52, Josh Morse. For the Brewer Witches, a senior, number 12, Aaron Largay. A junior, number 24, Chris Corson. A senior, number 30, Eric Duffy. A junior, number 32, Rob Pawson. A senior, number 34, John Bennett. A junior, number 40, Danny Coffin. A senior, number 42, Marco Kamezic. A junior, number 50, James Hinckley. And a junior, number 54, Buddy Chambers. Now for the starting lineups. For Bangor, a sophomore, number 10, Tommy Waterman. For Brewer, a senior, number 10, Nate Freeman. For Bangor, a junior, number 12, Jason St. Pierre. For Brewer, a junior, number 14, Adam King. For Bangor, a sophomore, number 34, Mike Arsenault. For Brewer, a senior, number 20, Troy Levitt. For Bangor, a junior, number 44, Jeff Garrett. For Brewer, a senior, number 22, Jason Layton. For Bangor, a senior, number 50, Richie Day. And for Brewer, a senior, number 52, Mike Johnston. The Bangor Rams are coached by Roger Reed. The Brewer Witches are coached by Mark Savage. Your officials for tonight's game are Mr. Kiewak and Mr. Thurston.
Bangor number 1, Brewer number 13. Of course, they still have about 3 or 4 games remaining on the regular season before they start thinking about their tournament. And this is probably the biggest game remaining on the Brewer schedule. Bangor still has another big game coming up at the end of the season against Old Town.
This, Mike, as we mentioned earlier, really could set up the season, the rest of the season for Brewer. If they win this game, you know, what it would do for them mentally would just could be very outstanding and propel them into a tournament berth.
Mark Savage said earlier that the team coming in with the attitude they have absolutely nothing to lose tonight and everything to gain because they have to have this game. Richie Day, 6'2" senior, will be in at center for Bangor. In the maroon, Brewer in the white tonight. Adam King in there, 6'5" junior. So King and Day jump it up. And we have basketball at the Bangor Auditorium, and the Rams will have the basketball to begin with. Arsenault holds it over his head. Talented sophomore.
Very talented athlete.
And there he finds Richie Day, so Bangor scores early.
Bangor sitting back in that 2-3 zone to open things defensively. It has given Brewer fits all over this season.
It was Bangor's defense in the last game a few days ago that really very aggressive defense that caused Brewer to panic early on. And Bangor steals it away underneath. Credit the steal to Jeff Garat. And Tommy Waterman with a long up-court pass now to Jason St. Pierre. With the miss. Rebound Garat. And now Brewer comes away with the board. Adam King credited with a rebound. Nate Freeman out front for the Witches, looking at that 2-3 zone. Adam King, cross court to Layton. Layton will try the three-pointer. It's too long. The follow-up by King is no good, and we have our first foul of the game. It'll be on Richie Day. I'm sorry?
Some good action inside last time down the floor offensively. Arsenal got the ball inside today, and he laid it up off the glass for the easy two for Bangor.
Troy Levitt actually of Brewer with the first foul of the game, and Brewer putting a little pressure on Bangor early on with the Rams leading 2-0, 6:45 to go in the first half. The first quarter, Waterman down low, tries the reverse, and the rebound will come away to Mike Johnston of Brewer, and Nate Freeman into the front court. King will come up short on the three-point attempt. And a foul on the rebound against Brewer. Adam King, number 14.
Fouls on Brewers. Adam King, his first, team's second.
6:26 to go in the first period, not the first half. It's Waterman, picked up by Freeman.
Brewer opening in the man-to-man defense right now.
Waterman will try it along the right baseline, and he won't get the bounce. It hung there for a second. Arsenault on the rebound for Bangor will be fouled by number 20, Troy Levitt.
Well, that's not something that Brewer needed right off. Foul trouble on Troy Levitt.
Mike Arsenault with the line for 2 shots.
Yep, that's number 2 on Levitt, third team foul, and Arsenault is going to the line to shoot 2.
It's also going to bring Eric Duffy off the Brewer bench to replace Troy Levitt.
Levitt going out with those 2 fouls, number 20 for Brewer. Talented sophomore, Mike Arsenault, second leading scorer on this Bangor team. He averages about 11.7 points a game behind Jason St. Pierre with 14.2. That's through last night's Lawrence game. Bangor an easy win over Lawrence, so back-to-back games for the Rams. Arsenault, normally a really good foul shooter, misses both of those, so Brewer gets a break there.
Brewer's going to try to run. Speaking of the back-to-back, they're going to try to create an up-tempo game tonight and hopefully get the score up in the higher 50s or 60s, if not more.
Adam King with the basketball, cross court to Jason Layton. Back to King. Of course, Jason Layton, we remember from that exciting quarterfinal win over Mount Blue last year. A long full court shot that went in to win the game for Brewer, something that we or Jason won't forget for a very long time.
No question, and certainly he'd like an opportunity to get back here and duplicate some of the efforts that he had.
On the post up, nice. Mike Johnston posting up low, spins and hits it. Ties the game at 2.
Look at Brewer trying to go full court pressure here, trying to create a little faster tempo to the ball game.
Bangor is a very quick team, so they're going to be hard to defend on this, but Brewer comes up with his steal. Mike Johnston with a loose ball. Off to King. And there's Mike Johnston run with a second basket for Brewer. They lead 4-2.
I tell you, you get this Brewer team starting to feel that they can win and believing in themselves, and watch out because they're a talent-laden team.
They'll make Bangor work, and it's stolen away by King. Off to Freeman. Freeman stutter steps along the baseline. His pass is loose underneath. It'll be picked up by Jason St. Pierre. All the way from St. Pierre. There's Roger Reed on the Bangor bench a moment ago. We're tied at 4 with 4:44 to go in the first. Brewer in the white with the basketball. They like the way the game is starting. Brewer trying to penetrate. Leighton will fire it up. His foot was over the line. It's good for 2.
He's a key to this team. If he plays well, I think Brewer's going to play very well tonight.
He's the leading scorer on this team. And Brewer's defense right now is bothering Bangor just a bit on the full court pressure.
The thing that you like is you see a bounce in the defensive step as Coach Roger Reed shows his concern from the Bangor bench with his team not handling the pressure particularly well at this point in the ballgame.
And they have been doing pretty good against the pressure overall of late. Early in this one, though, Brewer playing some nice defense. Arsenault on the post. Power move comes up short. It'll be saved in bounds by King. He saves it into Jason Leighton. One-on-one Waterman. There's help from Garrett and a Bangor foul. Leighton had one-on-one. He hesitated for a moment. Then he had to try to drive between 2 players, but he still got the foul. Leighton on the line to shoot 2. And Waterman with the first foul for Bangor.
Interesting, Mark Savage certainly trying to get Mr. Freeman into this ball game and giving him instructions in front of the bench as Jason Leighton shoots a pair.
76.7% foul shooter, so it's a man they don't mind having on the line anytime in the game as he makes the first one. Leighton, the senior, makes the second one, and Brewer leads Bangor 8-4 with 3:48 to go in the first. And there you see the full court pressure applied again by Brewer, trying to trap. Day with the basketball, spins in the lane. He'll be called for travel.
I'll tell you what's going to go unnoticed if we don't mention it is the defensive effort that time down the floor by Eric Duffy, who came in a few minutes ago for Levitt.
Nate Freeman brings it up for the Brewer Witches. They weren't on the season. Lost tough games. They could easily be 7-4 if you look at those close ones. Cross-court pass. King catches up with it. And quickly back to Freeman. Freeman pops at the foul line, and he gets a basket, and Brewer shooting pretty good right now. They lead 10-4. St. Pierre across the line, and he gets it. Nice move by Jason.
I'll tell you, again, some pretty good defense by Eric Duffy, but St. Pierre went right over him and got the 2.
It's Brewer 10, Bangor 6, 2:45 to go in the first period. King has it knocked loose by Waterman. It'll be Brewer ball right in front of the Bangor bench.
You know, last time down, Tommy Waterman working the offense for you see St. Pierre take the ball to the middle. Some pretty good defense by Duffy, but St. Pierre went right over him for the easy basket.
Back to live action, 2:35 to go in the first. Bangor trailing Brewer by 4. And as a lot of coaches would tell you, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Oh, pretty play underneath, and the basket. Number 50, James Hinckley.
But give the assist to Mike Johnson. A great look inside, found Hinckley open underneath.
And we got a double dribble. Tommy Waterman, who was being harassed by Nate Freeman. Bangor wants a timeout. They're down by 6 with 2:14 to go in the first period. Roger Reed wants to talk it over. Brewer jumps out on top. We'll be right back.
This is not just another pretty face. This is not just another pretty truck. And this is not just another commercial. It's the chance of a lifetime to own a tough Chevy truck, the longest lasting, most dependable truck on the road. Nobody sells more Chevy trucks than Bean & Conquest, and Bean & Conquest has never had more Chevy trucks in stock.
I'll put you into a new truck for less than anyone else. I am that guy who dares to deal, you know, at Bean & Conquest Chevrolet for your new Chevy truck.
What a great look last time down for Brewer as Johnston got the ball from King inside, who turned and squared and found Hinckley on a nice reverse layup by Hinckley. And Brewer off to a wonderful start as far as they're concerned, Mike.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out, Brewer has good size. They bring Hinckley in off the bench at 6'5". Adam King there at 6'5". Mike Johnston 6'2". Troy Levitt 6-footer. So they average about 6'1". Have some size if they can get their game going. So Brewer's defense this time around causing Bangor some problems. Last time they played, it was the opposite. King tries a three-pointer, comes up short, but it pops right out front to Nate Freeman. So Brewer gets another chance.
And that's the thing about a three-point attempt. So you're going to get some long rebounds off that kind of shot.
And that's what coaches teach on rebounding a three-point shot, is to back up a little bit. And the bounce down the middle. Mike Johnston just across the foul line. Brewer leads by 8.
Boy, he's had a great year for Mark Savage and the Witches. Probably one of their more consistent players all year long.
They got 3 players averaging in double figures. He's one of them at 10.3 points a game. Arsenal for Bangor, guarded by King. Out front, it's nearly stolen away, and it's Layton with a basket on the assist from Nate Freeman, who opted to give it up. Turned out to be a good play. He found the trailer, and Brewer leads by 10 with a minute to go here in the first period.
One word right now, Mike, tempo. I like tempo that Brewers created for themselves right now.
That does work to Brewers' advantage. They like this style of basketball. Bangor's more slow to medium tempo. They would like to get it back. Pass to St. Pierre. Bangor gets a break. It bounces into the hands of Garrett. Arsenal. Baseline. He gets the bounce. Mike Arsenal with a big basket for Bangor to slow down that momentum. Brewers' lead is cut to 8. And you can see time winding down. 30 seconds to go in the first. Oh, it was a pretty play. Hinckley couldn't hang on to the basketball. Brewer will set it up again. Some of the passes are so good, they're catching their opponents, rather their teammates off guard.
Mark Savage making the decision with about 12 seconds left in the quarter. That's the last shot now. Good decision, I think.
It's Layton. He won't get the bounce. Nice follow, though. Mike Johnston with the follow and the basket, and Bangor will not get a shot off. And Brewer will lead by 10 points at the end of the first period. We'll be back in just a moment.
GMC means more than the only company that builds only trucks.
GMC means you get more class for no more cash.
GMC means lots more truck for no more bucks.
And GMC's not just better looking. GMC makes a better truck from the frame rail up for around money as a Ford.
But there's still only one way to know why GMC is Maine's most popular truck.
One test drive today and you too may say it's GMC work truck for me.
Tonight's high school basketball action is brought to you in part by Dollar Bills in the Brewer Shopping Center, Wilson Street in Brewer, the area's best dollar store. You won't believe what only $1 will buy. Bangor Motorsports, where service is the difference. The premier dealer of Arctic Cat, Kawasaki, and Honda off Outer Hammond Street, Bangor, behind Darling's Auto Parts. And W.C. Bryant's, Bangor's finest jeweler since 1893, and proud to support high school athletics. You never pay more to get more at W.C. Bryant's, downtown Bangor.
The second period just underway. Mike Hale and Tom Winston with you. This time Bangor coming up with a steal. Arsenal off to St. Pierre, and he gets it. Jason St. Pierre with a big basket for Bangor to cut the Brewer lead to 8. King going down low to Johnston. Johnston with another nice spin move, and he's been hot down underneath here early on.
Still some more light pressure being applied by Brewer right now. Not as full court as it was.
Brewer up by 10 with 7:15 to go in the first half. St. Pierre off to Waterman. He's guarded by Layton. Arsenal. Matt O'Connell in the game now for Bangor. Checked in during a timeout. Bangor being a little more patient on their shots now, and they get the ball down low to Richie Day, who powers it up and in for Bangor. Back to an 8-point lead for Brewer.
Defensive help from the weak side was a little bit late in arriving there.
Layton for 3. Foot was on the line, so it's for 2. Which is not nearly as fun to say as 3. St. Pierre down the middle. It's going to be blocked, but a foul will be called. James Hinckley went for the ball, got some body in there. He'll be called for the foul, number 50. Pretty good when you can bring 6'5" junior in off the bench to do that job for you for Mark Savage's Witches.
Fouls on Hinckley, his first.
Jason St. Pierre go to the line for Bangor.
Eric Duffy comes back into the ball game for Brewer as James Hinckley sits down.
Roger Reed talking with number 10 Tommy Waterman over at the Bangor bench. Meanwhile, Jason St. Pierre is on the foul line. He's been a very nice surprise for the Rams this year. Not that he wasn't expected to do well, but he's way above and beyond, leading the team with over 14 points a game, and he gets that foul shot. Pretty good free throw shooter, as you see. Both of them for St. Pierre. Brewers up by 8. 6:30 to go here in the second period.
Important for Brewer to try to keep the tempo that they had in the first quarter. As we said in the opening, it's certainly a key to this ball game as far as Brewer is concerned.
Freeman gets it in the lane to Johnston. Mike Johnston is just alive underneath.
Boy,
moving very well with and without the ball.
That's a thing, Mike, that people don't realize. You've got to move without the basketball.
St. Pierre throws up an air ball. Arsenal on the rebound. He's traveling. Bangor turns it over.
Brewer was very fortunate there because they didn't box out. Some great offensive movement here. This time, Brewer. Freeman had the ball, got it on the side.
Nice fake.
To Johnson. Good ball fake by Johnson. He laid it off the glass for 2.
Back to live action. That's Adam King driving baseline for Brewer, and the Witches lead 26-14. 5:45 to go in the first half. It's Waterman with the ball for Bangor, down to St. Pierre. Now Day swings it around to Arsenal. You have to credit Brewer's defense. They have not allowed Bangor to get into much of a flow of the type of game that Bangor likes to play. They find Arsenal down low, though. Day to Arsenal for 2.
Anytime you turn your head to the ball defensively, you lose your player, and thus an easy basket for Bangor.
Ball's knocked loose, but it's going to be chased down by Eric Duffy. Now it's Mike Johnston. He'll bring it out to Adam King. It's Layton in the corner, guarded by Waterman. King is open. He comes up a little short on the three-pointer. Waterman with a rebound for Bangor. He'll push it up very quickly. It's off his foot. And it'll be scooped up by Nate Freeman of Brewer.
Also a very smart move by Freeman there. He had 1 on 3, didn't try to take it to the basket, pulled out and set up the offense.
Johnston posts up again. He spins. He comes up short this time. And the rebound, O'Connell for Bangor. He'll bring it up. Brewer leads by 10. There's 3 for Jason St. Pierre. That helps.
That's one of the few times that that the Brewer defense has allowed an open look at the basket.
So now the Brewer lead is 7, and it bounces off Jason Layton's foot out of bounds. Brewer will turn it over. So a couple of turnovers for Brewer. Mike Johnston with 12 points in the game already tonight, over his season average of 10.3.
Man substitution here for Coach Savage.
Also Bangor. Bangor will bring Gavin McCarthy into the game. Tommy Waterman gets a breather. The other side will catch up with all the Brewer Witches who have checked into the game. Chris Corson is in there. Also Rob Posson.
Buddy Chambers also.
Nice pass from St. Pierre to Day. Richie Day misses, and Brewer gets the rebound. John Bennett got the rebound. He's also a newcomer into the game. 3:48 to go in the first half. Brewer 26, Bangor 19. And Pawson loses the handle on it. Bangor will come up with a loose ball. Arsenault. Mike on the baseline, makes a nice move. Gets the layup, banks it off.
Pretty good hang time there by Arsenault.
So 5 straight point Bangor. They cut the lead 6-21. So a lot of pressure on the Brewer bench right now as most of the starters are resting, and they will try to hang on to this lead. Foul line. The shot is good for 2 for James Hinckley.
Huge hoop for Brewer to break the little bit of a run that Bangor's had.
That momentum is so important. It's 28-21 Brewer. We have just under 3 minutes to go first half. Going to come up short from the outside for Gavin McCarthy, and Brewer quickly the other way, trying to go into a little up-tempo game. The shot will be missed by Chris Poole. Bangor rebound. O'Connell way over the head of number 22, Gavin McCarthy. Bangor on the turnover, and Roger Reed does not want to rush it quite that much.
You'll see some great hang time here by Mike Arsenault. A nice move to get by the defenders, and that's really what enabled him to get that good look at the hoop.
He had the little pump hang move in between 2 defenders, and it's hard to teach a player that. That comes pretty natural. Loose ball picked up by Richie Day of Bangor, and Gavin McCarthy brings it up to the Rams, who trail by 7 points with 2:05 to go in the first half. St. Pierre to Arsenault on the right side. Nice pass, Arsenault. Richie Day is open for the basket.
2 minutes remaining in the half.
Bangor cuts the Brewer lead back to 5. Very fast-paced game. Not a lot of turnovers or fouls. And there's the big rejection as Rob Potts to the basket. Richie Day was there to knock it away. All kinds of confidence.
Boy, that doesn't hurt to get your people into the ball game too.
Entering the game for Bangor, number 24,
Coming in for Bangor, Jake Civiello, a 6'2 junior. He'll replace Mike Arsenault, the 6'1 sophomore. And now Bangor's starting contingency coming back into the game. Freeman and Leighton. King is back there, also Mike Johnston. But the bench did a good job for Mark Savage, held the lead. Brewer leading 28-23.
That was a key 2 or 3 minutes for Brewer too. They need to get some rest of the starters, and the bench did a nice job.
Eric Duffy back in as well for Brewer. King for 3, won't get it, a little hard off the back of the iron. Rebound is Richie Day for Bangor, off to McCarthy, and he'll bring it up. Minute 25 to go in the first half. Brewer leading Bangor by 5. Jake Civiello on the baseline, has it blocked out of bounds by Eric Duffy. It'll be Bangor ball right underneath their own basket.
Good defensive effort and the help side defense by Duffy this time. As you can see, Duffy's going to slide over to help out and really causes that ball out of bounds.
Back to live action. Richie Day misses the shot, but he gets his own rebound and tosses it over to McCarthy on the left. Foul line, McCarthy, no. And Bangor with another rebound. Richie Day chases down the loose ball. O'Connell. Civiello gets it underneath St. Pierre. So Bangor tough on the offensive boards that time, and it pays off with a basket. St. Pierre cuts the Brewer lead to 3. Brewer led by 12 at one time. We got a foul on Brewer. Looks like Nate Freeman possibly.
Fouls on Bangor's Jason St. Pierre.
No, it's on Bangor. It's on Jason St. Pierre. That'll be Jason's first and Bangor's second as a team. So Bangor committing only 2 fouls in nearly the whole first half.
Only 6 fouls ball game thus far.
That's right, Brewer had 3 called early on, and then it's been pretty clean ever since. And Mark Savage and the Brewer Witches call a timeout with 45.2 seconds to go in the first half. Brewer leads by 3. We're back in a moment.
Why settle for anything less than the right tool for the job? At the Mall Site Discount Outlet, we've got everything from hammers and chisels to saws and axes. We've got what you're looking for. Plus, we have one of the largest selections of tarps in the greater Bangor area, from 5x7 to 50x100. If you need some rope, we've got that too. Come to the Mall Site Discount Outlet and get fast, friendly service and the right tool for the job at a price so low you won't believe it. Located in the Blue Seal Feeds and Needs Building, 876 Stillwater Avenue, Bangor.
Well, Roger Reed has to be pleased as we near halftime as he sees his team go from 12 points down to 3 points down with about 45 seconds to go in the half.
You know, at one point it was 26-14 in favor of Brewer. Now it's 28-25. So certainly a good run as far as Bangor is concerned.
Brewer ball underneath their basket as Freeman puts it in bounds. Jason Layton just finds daylight and makes a power move to the basket. And it'll be knocked out of bounds by the Brewer defense as Eric Duffy got a hand on it.
Well, that's one thing you won't see very much by a Roger Reed coach team is the defensive lapse, even though it was momentary, allowing Layton to get that pass up close to the hoop.
He sneaked right in behind the defense. Brewer by 5 as we near the end of the first half. Arsenault with the basketball for Bangor, and away from the ball, a foul will be called on Brewer. Looks like Jason Layton was kind of jostling for position underneath with Jason St. Pierre. Layton is called for the foul. That's his first, number 5 on the team. Not a shooting situation again, so Bangor will put it in underneath their basket with 26.8 seconds to go in the half, and another whistle. Defense of Bangor, or rather Brewer, causes the violation on the inbounds pass. Bangor has to turn it over. And Nate Freeman brings it slowly up the court. Looks like Brewer will go for the last shot of the half with a 5-point lead. It's King with the basketball. Now it's Jason Layton. Back to King. Freeman. He'll penetrate. He'll miss the shot. The follow-up at the buzzer is good by Jason Layton. It will count, and a big basket to go into the locker room at halftime for the Brewer Witches, who lead the Bangor Rams 32-25. We'll be back at halftime with Tim Throckmorton in just a moment.
WABI TV sports coverage of high school basketball is brought to you by Bean & Conquest Chevrolet Geo and Village Subaru, proud sponsors of high school sports.
You've been in an accident. Your vehicle is damaged. You want it repaired. You want it done right. And you don't want any hassles. What you need is Bickford Auto Body. We'll prepare a damage report, fax it to the insurance company, work with the insurance adjuster to ensure the best quality repairs, arrange a rental car for you, repair your vehicle using the latest technology, and get you back in the driver's seat as soon as possible. Quality repairs, minimum hassles, the Bickford difference.
At Taylor Rental in Brewer, we have the experience and the equipment to help you get any job, big or small, done right. Homeowners and contractors find the equipment they want and the advice they need. Throw up Taylor. Don't trust your special event party to any of our experienced event coordinators. From all dinner to a major event. We rent tents, tables, chairs, china, dance floors, and much, much more. Rent the latest and new equipment. Rent from Taylor and rent with confidence.
If you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through.
Plus a lease rate of just $369 a month with no money down.
It's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Progress is the movement toward a specific goal or further stage. For Husson College, progress means preparing a center of modern education for Maine students. It means offering students new social, spiritual, and cultural opportunities. And while Husson College is progressing, we remain committed to the tradition of a quality education with individual attention. Come visit us and see why we're Maine's College of Business, Health, and Professional Studies. Husson College, progress for the students of tomorrow.
back. It's halftime. Bangor trailing Brewer right now. It's 32-25. Brewer certainly needed this win, and Brewer cheerleader Erin LaChance is pretty much happy about the score here at halftime. But Erin's here talking about her own competition and the Brewer cheerleaders competition. Last weekend, I'm sure a big thrill, winning the Eastern Maine Championship, Erin.
Yeah, definitely. It was great. It was one of the best feelings ever.
You have a team that's kind of an interesting team this year because you have a new coach and a bunch of freshmen. Kind of a surprise, you think, winning the Eastern Maine Championship?
Definitely. I think a lot of people thought we were going to have a kind of a building then, but this year the freshmen, and plus we have one senior that's never cheered before. They really came through for us, and we've really been strong this year.
If anybody has not watched the competition and the cheering in the regionals or in the states, this place is packed. This gym is loud and it's exciting, and the cheerleaders are. It's very athletic and quite a routine. You obviously it's kind of difficult for you because you only have one or two competitions to gear up for at the end of the year. One is the Eastern Maine, and the next one follows immediately afterward. The states this weekend. Is it an enough competition for you? Is it almost like it's do or die, almost like a one-shot effort?
It is a one-shot deal. I wish there could be more, but I guess it puts more emphasis on the state finals and the Eastern Maine finals.
You got Bangor also finishing second in the Eastern Maine Championships, and Brewer is coming into the states. That all gets erased, isn't that true? When you start from scratch?
Definitely. 4 teams from the East make it, as well as 4 teams from the West, and you get together and compete, those 8 teams, and then 4 get called back, and then from there you get your winners and your runners-up.
Brewer cheerleading has been excellent the last few years. I don't know if you grew up wanting to be a cheerleader, but this is an awfully exciting event to go to. I hope everybody comes out and watches Brewer.
Thank you.
Erin LaChance, thanks very much for joining us. We'll be back at halftime to talk with somebody from Bangor, Katie Clark, right after this.
At Hamel Fuels, we have one priority. That's giving you the best service possible. Serving the community since 1932, our modern delivery fleet is on the road every day to give you that peace of mind on those cold winter nights. We also deliver LP gas for your cooking and heating needs. For emergency burner service, our in-house service department is on call 24 hours a day. So, for oil, LP gas, and burner service, who can do it?
We can!
Just because you're a mom or dad doesn't mean you have to drive a Taurus or a minivan.
Even if they're all new and redesigned, cars and vans just don't fit in with who you are now.
Because you're ready to turn the family car or minivan into a family truck.
And for more and more Mainers, that means a GMC Club Group.
That's why you see more GMC on the road in Maine than in any state in the nation.
One test drive today, and you too may say it's GMC Pure Truck for me.
And the family.
Amy's birthday's tomorrow. What am I going to do? I always wait until hey, Luigi & Frederick's perfect. She loves flowers.
Whatever the occasion, Luigi & Frederick's, conveniently located across from EMMC, has what you need. Flowers, plants, balloons, plus a newly expanded selection of collectibles and gift items like candles, cards, and flags. Of course, delivery is available to surprise that someone special. Whether it's a birthday, wedding, or just to say I love you, remember Luigi & Frederick's florist on State Street in Bangor, 947-4521.
Bangor girls won the opener tonight, 71-32 over Brewer. That's the halftime score of the boys' game. Katie Clark joins us here courtside. Katie, back-to-back games over the rival tonight, and last night must have been fun too, as you got to play against Lawrence, scoring 40 points, but that's a big win for the Bangor team last night.
Definitely, yeah. Everybody came out and played really tough last night. Everybody was looking to score, and everybody hustled, so that's what we wanted. Lawrence was a big game for us because we had to get over that hump after losing to Hamden, so that was a big win for us.
A big win. The scoreboard was just a shaking up there. That was incredible. Next year, Katie, at UMaine, you've had a bunch of players in, watching you. Joanne's in once in a while. This has got to be fun. You're almost gearing up for the tournament, but also gearing up for the next 4 years, too.
Definitely, yeah. It means a lot to see some of the players from Maine come down and watch our games. That means a lot to me. That means that they really want me up there, and they really care about what we're doing down here. So that means a lot, and it's definitely really exciting that tournaments are coming, and playing here at the auditorium was really great for us tonight.
That's going to be great. You're going to be a freshman with your brother up there next year too, Nat.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm psyched for that.
That'd be great. Congratulations, Katie. We'll see you in a short time, tournament time down here at the auditorium.
Thank you.
Okay, Katie Clark, big night for her and big night for the Bangor Rams, winning the opener tonight over Brewer. It's time. Brewer has the lead right now as they fight for survival in the heel point race as they get close to the tournament. Back with second half right after this.
Channel 5 sports coverage of high school basketball is brought to you by your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Well, I was stranded on this frozen lake for 3 days. On the third day, I caught this rare fur-bearing trout.
Van Raymond Outfitters, your ice fishing headquarters, with augers, traps, and live bait. Save on winter clothing like Gore-Tex jackets, Woolrich and Pendleton, now up to 50% off at Van Raymond Outfitters. Well, back to Van.
I was surviving on grasshoppers out of my bait box and living in a 6-foot igloo I built with my bare hands.
Van Raymond Outfitters on South Main Street, Brewer.
All right, welcome back to the Bangor Auditorium. Mike Hale and Tom Winston with you at halftime. It is Brewer 32, Bangor 25. And a reminder, a couple of TV notes. Dave's World and the Louie Show will be shown a late night this Sunday beginning at 11:30. So if you like Tom Winston and you tuned in to see Dave's World and the Louie Show, you end up with the Mikey Show and the Tommy Show here tonight. But Bangor down by 7 here, Tom. They played a game last night. I don't know if it had any effect on them being a little bit tired tonight. Topped off with the aggressiveness of Brewer or not, but Brewer up by 7.
Well, I think the difference for me is so far in this game has been the end of the second quarter when Bangor had made their run, and then Brewer did a nice job of getting a little bit of that lead back. That Bangor had narrowed it to, I believe, 3 points, 28-25 at one point. And Brewer shot out to a 7-point lead. Let's see if they can carry that over in the second half. If they do, could be an interesting one as far as those concerned. If they don't, then it's going to be tough. Look at the halftime stats. Leading scorers for Bangor, St. Pierre with 13, Arsenal and Day both with 6. For Brewer, Johnston was immense in the first quarter. He has 12, Layton with 12, and Hinckley with 4.
I think Brewer has taken a page out of the Bangor playbook from the last game on Friday, when it was Bangor's aggressive defense and some good outside shooting that helped them jump out to a lead. And Brewer came out with that kind of an attitude tonight. Bangor a little bit back on their heels and a little tentative to start with. The Channel 5 fan cam picking up Channel 5 Best in Sports, CBS. You never know when the fan cam. You also see one of those neat water bottles in the hand of that fan too. Tom Winston has one of his very own here tonight. We're ready for the second half. Brewer by 7. Bangor will have the basketball.
Talk about a big half of basketball as far as the Witches are concerned. If they have any hopes of getting back here, this would certainly be a feather in their cap.
Arsenault comes up short out front. The follower is up and no good as well by Garrett. It'll be lost out of bounds off Brewer. Bangor, or rather off Bangor, it'll be Brewer basketball.
First 3 minutes says a lot about what's going to happen in this ball game, with Brewer leading by 7.
Coming up short was Troy Levitt of Brewer. Bangor on the rebound. Tommy Waterman brings it up. Early in the third period, Brewer by 7. We only had like 6 fouls committed in the entire first half, so it was very fast-paced. Day on the miss. The rebound is going to be tapped into the hands of Troy Levitt. Up to Mike Johnston. Johnston with a player control foul. The charge over Tommy Waterman, so it's a Brewer foul against Johnston.
Great defensive effort that time by Waterman. You can almost see that coming. He knew Johnston was going to take the ball to the hole and did a nice job of picking up the player control on Johnston.
Sometimes that's where that football experience comes in handy.
You can see as he steps into the picture here, he can see it coming, steps in, takes the player control. Johnston with the foul.
No one has scored yet here in the second half. Arsenault to the basket, a little bit too hard off the board. Layton on the rebound off to Freeman. Freeman might have had that partially blocked. It ends up as an air ball. It's battled for underneath, and Freeman comes out with it, the smallest man under there. There's a three-pointer for Adam King of Brewer, 6'5" junior, who at 6'5", sometimes you tend to let him have it out there, and you can't. He'll hit it.
Roger Reed said before the game they can't allow those to even be shot, and they've done a decent job of bothering him until that. It's the first open look he's had in a long time tonight.
Really nice to have a player that tall who can hit the three-pointer for you. Bangor not getting bounce right now as St. Pierre misses. Day with the rebound for the Rams, brings it out to Waterman. Waterman for three, in and out. And Freeman with a rebound. He's in a foot race now. Makes a very nice pass to Layton. Layton will miss the shot, but he was fouled. Nice ball movement by Brewer.
Great job of seeing the floor that time by the Brewer offense.
On Bangor, Richie Day comes up with the first foul. Each team has one now in the second half. And Jason Layton is going to the line.
Jason Layton's at the line for 2 shots.
And going out, Jeff Garrett of Bangor. Coming in for him is number 24, Jake Civiello. Civiello, a 6'2" junior. Layton shooting 2. (36-25). Brewer by 11 on that Layton foul shot, and he gets them both. Up by 12. As we mentioned earlier, Bangor did play Lawrence last night, so Bangor could be a little bit tired. Sometimes it's tough for those back-to-back games during the middle of the school week. Off balance, Civiello, follow Waterman. Waterman gets the rebound in the basket.
Good follow that time.
Nearly stolen away by St. Pierre. He'll chase it out of bounds into the press table. Mike Thurston is no longer officiating, Tom.
That's interesting.
Paul Kiewak's still in there.
And Denny Hyman, who was the official in the girls' ball game.
Mike maybe not feeling well. Or he could have pulled a muscle in the back of his leg.
You know, it's interesting, the theory that Bangor may be tired. They played last night. You know, sometimes that could be, but I just question the Bangor-Brewer matchup. How tired can you be? You know, and that's it's hard not to get up for that one, but physically, if they can't go, it's obviously a little bit tougher on their legs.
That foul was on Mike Arsenal of Bangor, his first, team second. Layton gets open underneath, misses the shot. Civiello behind him. Day on the rebound. And Brewer is playing very good basketball, and they're making Bangor work tonight. Both ends of the floor, so we'll see. A long way to go, though. 5:10 to go in the third. Brewer by 10. And it'll be lost out of bounds by Bangor. Roger Reed frustrated over on the Bangor bench as he's watching his team turn the ball over a lot tonight.
Boy, and that's something that you don't see a Bangor team coached by Roger Reed do very often, is turn the ball over, make certainly unforced errors are not characteristic of the Bangor Ram basketball team.
Matt O'Connell comes in. Jake Civiello out for Bangor. Brewer with the ball. They lead by 10. Adam King off balance on the baseline. It's an air ball picked off by Richie Day underneath. And Waterman tries to pass it to Arsenal. It's deflected by King. And off Bangor. It's a Brewer basketball. It was off, the fingertips?
Boy, the Bangor bench certainly doesn't like that call, and neither does Mike Arsenal, but it looked like a pretty good call from here where it was deflected off the tip of a Bangor hand.
Brewer 37, Bangor 26. 4:40 to go in the third. It's Layton with the basketball for Brewer. He has it stripped out of bounds by Tommy Waterman. And Roger Reed going back to the bench. Gavin McCarthy is coming in for Tom Waterman. Waterman number 10. Brewer with the ball underneath their basket into Layton. Johnston spins, fires, and hits it. And he has that shot falling for him tonight. Hard to defend that shot.
You weren't kidding. He's a big, tough, physical player. They steal the inbounds pass.
Freeman with the steal and the basket, and this is the biggest lead of the game for Brewer. It's 14 points with 4:20 to go in the third. It's a lot of time to go, but Bangor definitely in the catch-up now. It's McCarthy off to Arsenal. Down to O'Connell. He has his shot blocked. I think maybe Layton or Freeman got a hand on it, and Brewer comes up with the basketball. Brewer is playing some really good defense tonight.
I saw them play against Skowhegan, and they played the same way. They played with that little jump in their step that like they wanted to play in the defensive end of the floor, and they were certainly doing that tonight.
Troy Levitt, number 20, drawing the foul.
Good fake up there. And certainly a hard foul inside by Day as he went to block the shot. Certainly got a pretty good piece of Troy Levitt.
Number 50, Richie Day, picks up his second, Bangor's third. Troy Levitt on the foul line for Brewer. Brewer shooting well from the foul line tonight, as we have Jeff Garrett coming back in for Bangor. He'll replace Richie Day, who picked up foul number 2 a moment ago.
Bangor still searching for the right combination.
Bangor wants a timeout. They're down by 15 with 3:49 to go in the third. We'll be back in a moment.
Tonight's high school basketball action is brought to you in part by Parker K. Bailey & Sons. Moving? With mortgage rates so low, there's no better time than now, and no better mover than America's #1 family mover. Parker K. Bailey & Sons, your United Van Line movers. B&D Marine, set the water on fire this summer with preseason savings on Mercury Marine products and Sea-Doos. B&D Marine, 432 Wilson Street in Brewer. And Napa Auto Parts. This winter, rely on quality parts and service. Napa Auto Parts, Hammond Street in Bangor.
Hi, I'm Kate Fortier, a cheerleader at Bangor High School, and you're watching Channel 5 sports coverage of Class A basketball on the home of high school sports, WABI TV.
Well, coming into the game, we said it pretty much was a must-win situation for Brewer. They're playing like that right now, leading Bangor by 15 here in the third period.
I still say this game's going to boil down to one thing as far as these teams are concerned: who controls the tempo the rest of the way.
Troy Levitt made the first one. They call a timeout. He comes out, makes the second one, and we have news on Mike Thurston, the official, Tom.
Yes, a pulled calf muscle. Had a difficult time even walking at halftime, and they're pretty fortunate that Denny Harmon was here, stayed around after the girls' game.
Brewer steals a basketball. Bangor steals it right back. Johnston stole it for Brewer. Arsenault comes up with it for the Rams. And it's McCarthy at the foul line. He stops. He gets it. Big basket by Gavin McCarthy in off the bench for Bangor. 43-29. We're in the third. Adam King touches it off to Nate Freeman. Freeman didn't have any shot, and he got fortunate to get rid of the basketball before the travel. The shot is missed this time. Mike Johnston a little bit off on that shot, and Bangor comes up with it. O'Connell to McCarthy. Back to O'Connell down low. It's Arsenault. McCarthy has his shot partially blocked by Freeman. Loose ball, though, picked up by St. Pierre. He gets it.
Head fake by St. Pierre. Got King up in the air, and St. Pierre got the ball over him for 2.
Now the 16-point lead trimmed down to 12. 2:25 to go in the third. Brewer with the basketball and the lead. Johnston posting up, gives it back to Layton. Out front, it's King. Layton open for 3. Jason Layton with a three-pointer for Brewer. They're back up by 15.
They were looking for his leadership tonight, and they certainly have it. He's surpassed his season scoring average already.
Baseline, St. Pierre for Bangor. Now, the first time these teams met, Bangor won 49-45. That's more along the lines Bangor wants it down lower. Second time around, 58-46. Bangor won on Friday. And we're in the third meeting as Bangor steals the ball. St. Pierre knocks it loose to McCarthy, now to Arsenault, but he was knocked out of bounds by King. Brewer touched it last. 5 new players coming in for the Brewer Witches. Mark Savage did that in the first half, too, to give his starters a breather.
You've got Corson and Chambers and Pawson for Brewer.
Bennett's in there, too.
And Hinckley.
So, fresh legs in there for the Witches. Minute 30 to go in the third. 13-point lead for Brewer. McCarthy with it for Bangor, off to Arsenault. It's McCarthy. He travels with it. He shuffled his feet before he put the ball to the floor. Roger Reed looking down the Bangor bench with his team down by 13. Getting ready to bring Andy Robichaud into the game, I believe, for the first time.
I like the substitutions made by Brewer coach Mark Savage, too. Get some fresh legs, finish the third quarter, and see what happens.
Shows a lot of confidence in your bench. A game like this to bring in 5 brand new players.
They did a pretty good job in the first half when they were in there.
Yes, they did. Their job is to go for the best possible shot and be patient, and that they are doing right now. We're under a minute now to go in the third. Brewer by 13. And the Bangor foul.
It's so key that when you talk about patience and then you go out and execute like Brewer just did that time down the floor, Mark Savage has to be happy with that. You get a foul on Arsenal. Brewer will have the ball with 53 seconds left.
Mike Arsenault called for the foul. It'll be his second, team's fourth. And it's kicked out of bounds. It'll be Brewer ball again.
Let's see if they run that same play from the weak side, trying to get it a cheap one back door.
John Bennett trying to get it in bounds, and he does, to Chris Corson. 45 seconds to go in the third. Posting up, missing the shot. Was it 54, Buddy Chambers? And it's Bangor ball. Pretty good play there, though. They get the ball down to Chambers. The foul, however, was on James Hinckley. His second, and Brewer's second. Clock running down to the end of the third. Bangor with the ball. They trail 13 points. Arsenault was open at the foul line, decided not to take it, and it was stolen by Rob Pawson, number 32. And 13-point lead for Brewer. They'll go for the last shot of the quarter.
Here's where you have to be real careful with the basketball. Bangor are going to be looking to knock it away, trying to end on a positive note.
And it's knocked loose by Andy Robichaud. And the loose ball picked up by Jason St. Pierre. So St. Pierre gets a big basket and will go to the foul line. Just what Brewer did not want to happen, as you said a moment ago.
I tell you, Old Mo may have taken a little bit of a turn there. As far as Brewer's concerned, they're hoping not. But, the ball's being kicked around a little bit at half court, and it's picked up by St. Pierre, and he's going to lay it in on the tough foul.
That was the first foul on Pawson.
Chance for a three-point play for St. Pierre.
The third on Brewer as a team. St. Pierre misses. Rebound Chambers for Brewer. They got 2.1 seconds. And they won't get it off as James Hinckley lost the handle on it. And we'll go into the final 8 minutes of this game with Brewer leading by 11. We'll be back in a moment.
If you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through.
Plus a lease rate of just $369 a month with no money down.
It's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Mike Hale and Tom Winston with you at the Bangor Auditorium. Bangor scored the first basket of the game. Then after that, Brewer took the lead early on. They haven't looked back. They led by 10 points at the end of one. They led by 7 at halftime, and Brewer leads by 11 after 3.
Brewer did a nice job that quarter, outscoring Bangor 14-10.
Ladies and gentlemen, you get out your 50-50 numbers, please.
And we'll remind you that Dave's World and the Louie Show, normally on between 8 and 9, will be shown late night this Sunday at 11:30. There's a young fan on the fan cam. Getting a little warm in here, taking the sweatshirt off and enjoying a little munchie there, I think. Oh, no, those are toys.
Superman.
Superman and another probably arch villain.
Maybe it's a Louie toy.
It's his Bangor doll and his Brewer doll fighting it out. Going to be Brewer basketball. St. Pierre and Freeman went for it. It was off the foot of St. Pierre. And St. Pierre playing aggressive defense, knocks it out of bounds. And you can see in St. Pierre's eyes right now, you see some fire. That young man is ready to play some basketball in his final 8 minutes.
I'll tell you, there's no Roger Reed coach team that's going to go down easily. No question about that.
A long way to go in this game, even though Brewer's up by 11. Bangor can explode, but when that type of thing is happening, you don't explode. A three-pointer by Nate Freeman.
I tell you, every time it looks like Bangor, is going to make a run, somebody for Brewer has the answer. That time it was Nate Freeman.
Brewer up by 14 early in the fourth period. O'Connell gives it off to Arsenault. The sophomore, strong move on the baseline. He spins out of there. Day on the rebound. He'll draw the foul. Arsenault getting no break tonight. He's missed a couple of like that as King is called for the foul. And Mark Savage has got the jacket off over on the Brewer bench. Bangor looking for a timeout. Bangor gets a timeout with 7:23 to go in the game. They're down by 14 and will return here in just a moment.
Everything we do inside our home, we do to make life better in yours. Rent-A-Center is Maine's #1 rental purchase company with quality furniture to fit your home and your budget. The major appliances you need: dishwashers, refrigerators, ranges, washers, and dryers. Rent-A-Center has a huge selection of brand name audio-video gear and user-friendly computers. You can have it all from Rent-A-Center with the respect you deserve. That's what makes Rent-A-Center #1 in customer satisfaction. When you want to make your life better, no one brings it home like Rent-A-Center.
Of course, Channel 5 will be with you for the tournament coming up for Class A, but we have some more regular season games coming up. Class B action, big game Friday night. Orono and John Bapps will be here on the 17th. Coney and Old Town with a girls game. Girls match up that tough Coney team this year, and then Mount Blue and Brewer, a rematch of last year's tournament quarterfinal game on Friday the 22nd. I believe that's a Friday.
Brewer fans obviously hoping that that game with Mount Blue on the 22nd has significant meaning with respect to their chances to get back here to play another ball game.
Foul on Brewer just before the timeout. They say it was on Troy Levitt. That's his third. Each team with 4, as the foul shot is good by Richie Day. 54% shooter from the line. A couple of big foul shots as Bangor trims the Brewer lead to 12. 49-37 with 7:20 to go in the game. Freeman and Waterman, 2 number 10s. Going head-to-head. Now it's down to Johnston. Out to Freeman. And there's the bump foul on, I believe, on Tommy Waterman. Bumped him with his hip as he drove to the basket. Not a shooting foul, though. That's number 5 on the team, number 2 on Waterman. Brewer will put it in underneath their basket. Levitt to Johnston. Johnston drives, he travels, the basket will not count.
Okay. As unfortunate as that is for Brewer, he really did take the extra step coming across the lane, and I think that was because of the defense and the help side defense by the Bangor Rams.
6:55 to go in the game. Arsenault's pass is picked off by Johnston, and Bangor turns it over again. 6:45 to go in the game. Brewer by 12. And another Bangor foul again on Waterman. Quickly picking up foul number 3. That's number 6 on the team.
Officials calling it close here, and probably a good thing in such an important ball game. You don't want either team getting an advantage on either end of the floor.
St. Pierre comes out of the game for Bangor. Nice move in the middle by Freeman, but it won't drop. Day on the rebound on the outlet to Waterman. Arsenault, nice fake, baseline. Arsenault won't get the bounce. King gets the rebound for Brewer. Steal by Arsenault, he misses the shot, and he'll go to the foul line. And Mike Arsenault has been struggling tonight on getting the ball to drop for him. He's had some pretty good shots, but just not going in. There are those nights.
That was just careless right there by the Brewer offense. Did a good job off the Arsenault miss, and unfortunately, picking up his 4th personal foul will be number 20, Troy Levitt, for the Brewer Witches. So a decision for Coach Mark Savage whether to leave Levitt in the ball game.
Arsenault with the shot. This Bangor team is so young. Waterman a sophomore, St. Pierre a junior, Arsenault a sophomore, Goretz a junior. So 4 of these players back next year. Arsenault gets them both. And it's a 10-point lead for Brewer, so Bangor shaves it down a little bit, but they would like to get it inside 10 with 6:05 to go in the game. Leighton on the miss. Rebound Bangor. Andy Robichaud drives to the basket. It will count. And the foul will be on Layton. So Bangor getting the momentum they had hoped for on that. And Layton is shaken up underneath the basket. Layton in a little bit of pain underneath. We'll catch up with that. Robichaud.
Certainly, Robichaud took the ball hard to the basket, and he was fouled by Layton. Layton comes up a little bit limping.
Timeout called by Brewer with 5:58 to go in the game. We'll be right back at the Bangor Auditorium with Brewer leading by 8.
Got a Sega Genesis? Cool. Want to rule your friends for the rest of their pathetic little lives? Then call now to get hooked into Sega Channel, the coolest way to get your games. You'll get wicked new stuff that's only on Sega Channel. Up to 50 ripping games a month for less than 50 cents a day. So get a phone, get a parent, get them together. Because if you want Sega Channel, they've got to call. Get hooked in to Sega Channel.
To order, call Cablevision today.
These are the up-to-date point standings, heel point standings. Mike Savage put those together. That does include last night's games. Bangor moving up into first place. See the rest of the lineup down.
Brewers in 13, and they're about 16 points behind at this point. Number 9, Madomic Valley. So they've, 26 points behind Madomic Valley. They've got a ways to go.
Robichaud would make it a three-point play with his foul shot. He does. So Bangor making some noise with 5:58 to go. They shave the lead down to 7. And Bangor's putting on some pressure and force Brewer into a timeout. Would have been tied up under there. Arrow would have gone to Bangor. So Freeman calls a timeout for Brewer. We'll be right back.
Hotel Views goes on location to see if Holiday Inn can beat Ramada for special values. Jane?
Here's a very exciting deal from Ramada. In eastern and central Maine, you can't beat the Ramada, Audlin Road, Bangor. Bangor's only full-service hotel. Wednesday and Friday evenings are family nights featuring all-you-can-eat specials for only $5.95. Wednesday's special is spaghetti with garlic bread. Friday nights, it's a fish fry. Just another reason that Ramada's in, holidays out.
We have 5:53 to go in the game. Mike Hale and Tom Winston with you. Tim Throckmorton's over on the sideline. And I was looking down through the season for Brewer. If they had won the games that they lost by 7 or less points, they would be 8-3 right now. They've had that many games that they lost by 7 or fewer points.
Bangor certainly turning up the defense right here. Interesting quarter so far, a little over 2 minutes into it. Brewer, Mike, scored the first 3 points on a three-pointer early in the quarter. And since then, they have been outscored by 9-0, I believe. 7-0, excuse me. So they're on a 7-0 run, is Bangor.
Andy Robichaud committed the foul. Taking a walk to the other end now with Brewer in the 1-1. It's Nate Freeman going to the line. And Freeman makes the first one. Back up to an 8-point lead for Brewer with 5:51 to go.
Well, these become so important in a crucial game, in a close game, a game that you have to have. You've got to make these foul shots.
Freeman, a good free throw shooter, makes them both.
And I didn't jinx him.
No, he didn't. 84% shooter. It's hard to jinx sometimes, although we do our best. It's a 9-point lead for Brewer. Bangor with only one loss on the season coming to Old Town. Back on, let's see, when was that? 9th of January. Layton on the rebound, keeps 1 foot on the floor, so it is not a travel. He's very smart there, but now it's tied up. Did he manage to get the timeout in before the call? Yes, he did. Timeout Brewer. 5:28 to go. We'll be right back.
This is not just another pretty face. This is not just another pretty truck. And this is not just another commercial. It's the chance of a lifetime to own a tough Chevy truck, the longest-lasting, most dependable truck on the road. Nobody sells more Chevy trucks than Bean & Conquest, and Bean & Conquest has never had more Chevy trucks in stock.
I'll put you into a new truck for less than anyone else. I am that guy who dares to deal, you know, at Bean & Conquest Chevrolet for your new Chevy truck.
At the Bangor Auditorium, it's a regular schoolboy basketball game tonight. Mark Savage on the sideline with his Brewer Witches leading Roger Reed's Bangor Rams 51-42, 5:28 to go. There's Roger.
I tell you, interesting situation right now. Only one timeout left in the ball game, and that belongs to Bangor. The timeout that was just called by Brewer was their last.
And we still have a long way to go. The pass into James Hinckley. He was out of bounds.
So that timeout could prove to be crucial down the stretch for Brewer.
Waterman, power move to the basket. Scoop shot with one hand, and it's 51-44. Bangor down by 7, putting on some pressure. Layton gets out of it. Now Freeman takes over, guarded closely by Tom Waterman. Five minutes to go in the game. Brewer by 7.
Boy, if this doesn't get you ready for tournament basketball, nothing will.
Nothing like a basketball game at the Auditorium, no matter who's playing. But you put Bangor and Brewer together, there's a little extra electricity in the air. It's knocked loose under there by Robichaud. But then everybody for Bangor broke for the basket. Nobody went back for the loose ball, and Brewer comes up with it. Arsenault with a steal, and now the foul. Arsenault, number 34, called for the foul.
I tell you, great hustle play that time. Last time down for Troy Levitt. Really helped the Brewer effort on offense that time.
That's number 3 on Mike Arsenault.
Andy Robichaud is going to take a rest.
On the foul line for Brewer, number 20, Troy Levitt. Missing on the 1-and-1 is going to be picked up by Bangor. St. Pierre with a loose ball on the rebound. And Day will give it right back to St. Pierre. O'Connell now with the basketball, guarded by King. We're in the 4th period. Brewer by 7. 4:05 to go. Arsenault pull-up jump shot, won't get it. Just won't fall for him tonight. Rebound Johnston off to Layton. Now a loose ball on the floor. It'll be tied up. It'll be Bangor ball.
Boy, Mike Arsenault has had some tough bounces as far as his shooting tonight. Getting a lot of good looks at the basket. They're just not falling. That's something that they did do in the last meeting. Arsenault had a fine game.
This game is quite similar to the first meeting between these teams. Brewer leading most of the way. In that game, Brewer made big turnovers at the end, and Bangor came back to win it. So Brewer trying to stay away from that turnover bug tonight. Waterman down to O'Connell. O'Connell didn't feel good about it. He brings it out. Sometimes that's good if you don't have confidence in your shot. St. Pierre was cutting the back door. However, it was Levitt who got there first and got the pass, and St. Pierre will foul Levitt.
Well, this might be the biggest 3 minutes and 29 seconds of basketball that Brewer's going to play all year long. 7-point lead. You have no timeouts left. You've got a lot of work left to do for the Bangor Rams and the Brewer Witches.
Foul on St. Pierre, his second. Taking a walk to the end of the floor for Troy Levitt to shoot 1-and-1 for Brewer. And he'll get the bounce. 52-44.
That's the key one of this, obviously a 1-on-1. You've got to make that first one to even have the attempt at number 2.
Second one is missed, and the rebound Bangor. It's Gavin McCarthy on the board. It's Waterman with the ball. Down low, Arsenault is open for the layup. Nice pass by Tommy Waterman to spot Arsenault alone underneath. That was a long pass, too. Long bounce pass. They did well to get it off. Brewer by 6 with 3:10 to go. Double team. Double team everywhere right now. Waterman with a steal.
And the battle for the loose ball, it will be last touched by Arsenault, chasing it out of bounds with Jason Layton, and it will be Brewer ball.
Tell me this game doesn't mean a lot to both these teams. Both players really working hard.
Very aggressive basketball right now, and a lot of bodies going to the floor on the loose ball. 2:50 to go in the game. Brewer by 6, and they have the ball. And a foul on Waterman. That'll be number 4 on him.
Last time down, Waterman bringing it up for the Bangor Rams. Nice inside pass to Arsenal. A good square up by Arsenal. He laid it up off the glass and in.
Number 4 on Tom Waterman. On the foul line for Brewer is Nate Freeman.
You know, that was really a good call by the officials, too. Waterman didn't like it, but he really gave him a little nudge with the knee as he went by.
He backed away very quickly, though, enough to give you a little doubt there. And the foul shot is good by Freeman. Back up to a 7-point lead for Brewer. Now it's 54-46, 2:48 to go. Brewer in the man-to-man right now. Now they'll come out and double team. That leaves Waterman open. McCarthy on the back door. He trips and falls down. He is going to be fouled by number 14, Adam King.
22, you shoot. 22. Fouls on Brewers.
That'll stop the clock at 2:36 to go in this game. Brewer is leading Bangor by 8. As always, important foul shots. Gavin McCarthy going to the line for Bangor.
Not only the important foul shots, Mike, but it stops the clock. And when you're Bangor, you like that in this situation. 2.5 minutes, 8 points behind.
Shooting 1 and 1. McCarthy on the miss. Brewer on the rebound. Steal by Bangor. Arsenault on the steal. Power on the baseline. Banks it off. No good. It's tapped up and in by Gavin McCarthy, number 22. It's a 6-point lead for Brewer. 2:20 to go. King had a 2-on-1. Decided not to go for it. Stolen by Arsenault. Foul on Arsenault. Bangor playing very aggressively, and it's showing up in the foul column right now.
Both teams turning up the pressure defensively, and a lot of close fouls being called.
Emotions running high right now with foul number 4 on Mike Arsenault. Back to the foul line is Nate Freeman.
Some good inside work here. This time, Mike Arsenault for Bangor.
Back to live action. Nate Freeman makes the first foul shot. 55-48 Brewer. He misses the second one. Day on the rebound. Off to Waterman. Up court, McCarthy. Baseline pull-up jumper is way off. And on the rebound, Freeman comes up with it. And Waterman fouls out of the game. Number 5 on Tommy Waterman reaching in from behind. A little bit of a frustration foul for the sophomore that time.
You know, he's trying to get the clock stopped, and that's positive, but he's really overworking at that point. Really, just because of the fact that he's a hustler and a competitor, trying to get the basketball after the shot didn't go down for the Rams.
Well, he was right in there on the rebound and couldn't quite get to it, so he reached in that second time, called for the foul. So Tommy Waterman will take a seat with 2:04 to go in the game. Bangor trailing Brewer 55-48.
You know, Mike, it's interesting, too. They have 30 seconds to replace the disqualified player, and both coaches using this delay in time.
2 points for Waterman, who averages 8.7 a game, but he can explode and give you even a better game than that, and he is really upset. Disappointed right now. The only thing that's going to heal that hurt is if Bangor should come back and win it. Mark Savage needing this win. His team up by 7, but still 2:04 to go, and a lot of things can happen in 2 minutes. Foul shot by Nate Freeman is good. It's an 8-point lead for Brewer. Brewers played very calm and under control throughout this game tonight.
That's been a real key, and the addition, the next key has been they've knocked down their foul shots here in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Brewers up by 9, 2 minutes to go. St. Pierre steps to the basket, and he is fouled. That was a very nice move by St. Pierre. A strong push off the leg, got by his man, and Layton is called for the foul, number 22.
The thing that's going to drive Mark Savage nuts here in the next 1:57 is stopping the clock, as in the foul situation that just occurred by Layton, stopping the clock and give Bangor a chance to shave points off that 9-point lead with no time running off the clock.
St. Pierre makes the foul shot. 1:57 to go in the game. Big night for Jason St. Pierre. Leads the team in scoring over his average tonight. He averages 14 points a game. He's up to 20, make that 21 points. And Brewer's lead is cut to 7. 57-50, 1:55 to go. And another Bangor foul. This one will be on number 32. That is Mike Wilcox.
Brewer now for the remaining 155 is in the double bonus, shooting 2 foul shots the rest of the way. Bangor still has a couple more to go.
Mark Savage looks up at the scoreboard saying it's taking forever to get that time to tick off. 1:55 to go.
I think Mark could lose some more hair. Sorry, Mark.
He can say that he can ill afford to do that.
1:55 left. It's going to be the longest 1:55 of Coach Savage's season without question.
Nate Freeman is doing it from the foul line. He makes 2 more for Brewer. It's back up to a 9-point lead for the Witches. 1:50 to go. Bangor needs to get something on the board here in a hurry. St. Pierre baseline gets the shot. That's the man who can do it for you. He and Arsenault both are capable of exploding. Waterman fouled out. 7-point lead again for Brewer. That's been the magic mark that Bangor has not been able to get by, is 7 points. Double team and a Bangor foul. This one is on Jason St. Pierre, who's frustrated. Bangor desperately wanting to get the ball back as they watch time slip away.
You know, I mentioned earlier that timeout situation, certainly coming back at this point, Brewer wouldn't mind a timeout right now, or at least to have one, to be able to settle things down if you wanted that. You don't have that luxury. Fortunately for Brewer, they've been knocking down their foul shots. Let's see if King can continue that trend.
That's the 3rd foul on St. Pierre as Adam King, the junior, makes the foul shot. King, a 75% free throw shooter, makes them both. So Brewer gets the lead back up to 9 with 1:23 to go. O'Connell can't go on the baseline, needs help. He's in a double team. Off underneath, the shot is up and in. Big basket by Mike Wilcox off the bench for Roger Reed. Back to a 7-point game, stolen by St. Pierre. St. Pierre forces it up, it's blocked by King. It's out today. St. Pierre for 3, it's short. Rebound late. Up ahead, Friedman misses the basket. Rebound day for Bangor. Under a minute to go, Arsenault. Off to O'Connell for 3, it's way off. It's tapped up underneath the backboard, out of bounds off Brewer. Last touch by Nate Freeman.
Boy, up and down. Again, Bangor fighting right till the end. They had 48 seconds left. They're down 7. This one's certainly not over.
St. Pierre, 3-point land. He gets it. 42 seconds to go. Long up court pass. Richie Day can't get a hand on it. King comes up with it. Off to Freeman. Big basket, Brewer. Brewer up by 8. 32 seconds to go. Arsenault, 3-pointer. He's got it. Brewer still has the lead, though, 63-59. Or rather, 63. That can't be right.
Oh, what a huge Brewer basket. Some great hustle by Adam King, the last Brewer basket. Gets the ball, and a nice job of seeing the floor by King. Gets it over in the middle. I believe it was Freeman, and Freeman laid it up and in. A huge hoop, especially with Arsenault coming down and knocking down the 3 for Bangor.
Yeah, it was 63-57. Arsenault buries the 3, so now it's a 3-point game with 25 seconds to go. And like we said, that's what happens. 2 big 3-pointers in a row for the Rams. Wow.
Unbelievable. Great high school basketball game, and we've talked about it a number of times. You know, these 2 teams are such competitive teams, not only when they play against each other, but certainly when they play against each other. It's on WABI TV, and just a super play is illustrated by Mike Arsenault last time down the floor. His team needing a key 3-pointer. He steps up behind the line and knocks it down. Nothing but net.
Pretty good confidence for a sophomore who played like that last year as a freshman. Just not afraid to take the big shot, squares up, fundamentals, and buries it.
I'll tell you, we've mentioned, in fact, I wrote myself a note that Brewer's been pretty tough down the stretch in foul shots. They're going to have to make some foul shots before this one's going to be over.
Bangor, full court man-to-man pressure, 25 seconds to go. They trail Brewer by 3. And there's the quick foul by Mike Wilcox. So Brewer will be tested from the foul line further, as Tom mentioned. Wilcox, number 32. Only a couple of seconds off the clock, 23 to go.
It's certainly what you like as far as your strategy. If you're Bangor, you want as little time to go off the clock as possible in that situation. But force Brewer to have to make the foul shot.
The only bad thing is you fouled the best shooter on the team, best foul shooter.
Well, credit Brewer with getting the ball to their best foul shooter on the inbounds pass.
That's right. Nate Freeman buries another one, and he's had a bunch of them down the stretch. Sure 17 points tonight for Nate. 5-point lead for Brewer, 23 seconds to go. St. Pierre, baseline, pulls up, he's got it. Back to a 3-point game, 18 seconds. Wilcox will foul Layton. With 14.6 seconds to go. Wilcox picks up number 2 very quickly. And this time, it'll be Jason Layton going to the foul line. Layton shoots 76%, so he's a free throw shooter. Channel 5 fan cam with I like that shirt. I like that shirt a lot. And a happy fan here. Not sure which side she's cheering for right now.
For Bangor, number 22, Gavin McCarthy.
And right now, McCarthy will come in for Wilcox, who did a good job, as both of these teams can go deep into the bench, and that helps too. Layton gets it, Jason Layton. 18 points tonight.
Boy, what a great leader he's been for the Witches tonight.
4-point lead for Brewer. He misses the second one. Day on the rebound, 14 seconds to go. Bangor down by 4. Fake by McCarthy, takes the 3-pointer, he's got it, we got a 1-point game. 5 seconds to go. There's the foul by St. Pierre. They call it an intentional foul. 2 shots coming up, and possession of the basketball. Of course, they would have had the 2 shots anyway, but now they have possession of the basketball too.
You know, there's something that they've looked at in the last year. They called that intentional foul because of a hard foul in the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Didn't matter what the score was.
Ladies and gentlemen, please refrain from throwing objects on the floor.
66 to 65 with 3.7 seconds to go. Foul shots coming up here in a moment. Is it Layton going back to the line again, I believe? Jason Layton here in a moment. So Layton stands up there to take his 2 foul shots, and then Brewer will get the basketball. 66-65. Bangor with a great comeback, but it may be too little too late. Layton makes it a 2-point game, 67-65. And Brewer will also get the ball inbound, so that only leaves 3.7 seconds for Bangor to try to come up with something. 68-65.
Remember, it was that foul call was a 2-shot intentional foul, which now will give Brewer the basketball after the 2 foul shots.
Bangor with the defense, inbounds, and Bangor will try to commit the foul, and the whistle blows, but the clock didn't stop, so I'm not sure if they'll put any time on the board. I guess they won't. The whistle blew, and there was about 0.5 seconds on the clock, but that could be all, and it looks like it is. Big win for the Brewer Witches, 68-65 over Bangor. A game they needed to have any chance at possibly making the tournament. Number 13 team beating the number 1 team. And after Bangor had beaten Brewer twice this year, 3rd time proved lucky for the Witches.
Certainly did, and huge win for Coach Savage and the Brewer Witches. They've really hung in there and worked hard this year. And this is a win that hopefully will get them off to a good run at the tournament. They have another ball game coming right up tomorrow night where they host Presque Isle tomorrow night. Presque Isle needs the tournament points, so they're gonna go, enjoy this for a few brief moments and then come right back to the war tomorrow night.
They also have a big game against Mount Blue coming down the pike here in the near future too. So still some points there for Brewer to try to squeak in the back door into the tournament. Final 68-65, Brewer beating Bangor.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Mark Savage joins us down here in the court. Mark, thanks for making it interesting at the end.
Well, it seems to be what we're trying to do all season, I think. I hope this is one of many.
Mark, you had the nice lead in the first quarter. You earned the lead. Then it was a matter of holding them off, and that's not an easy task.
No, it isn't. I mean, Bangor is such a great team. You know, they've got great leadership, and they've got kids that can score, and they play great defense.
It's been a long time coming, a big win for your team this year. How much is this going to do? Can you tell right now what it'll do for your stretch drive?
I think, Timmy, the thing that's most important is we got a big game, we got a big win, and our kids played mentally tough. I think that was the real key for us. So the points, it's kind of irrelevant at this moment, you know, but confidence-wise, I think we're much better off.
Is this the Brewer team that you expected to see all along that finally emerged?
They're coming. They're coming. I'm excited.
Let's get Jason in here.
Okay.
Good job, Mark. Jason, it's been a long time since you had a big win like maybe Mount Blue in the tournament last year, but what does this do for Brewer's confidence?
I think this boosts our confidence up a lot, and now I think everybody realizes, you know, what team to beat now, you know, and our chances are up there. So
you played Bangor twice this year. What was the difference about that first quarter that really boosted you into that big lead early?
I think everybody came out intense, and we pressured them a lot. And I think from Lawrence they got a little tired. So I thought the coach said, you know, put the pressure on them, get them tired here.
Is it easy to start doubting yourself when you're 4 and 7, whatever you were, coming in and you're in 13th place and looking at the top and seeing Bangor?
Nah, we just look at that, go into every game, you know, win it. Doesn't matter where we end.
You got enough gas to make it to the tournament, Jason?
No problem. We'll be back.
Okay, we'll see you down the line. Jason Layton, of course, we've got another Brewer game scheduled for late in the year against Mount Blue. We'll see what happens. That may mean something late in the year. We'll be back to the auditorium right after this timeout.
Tonight's high school basketball action is brought to you in part by Dollar Bills in the Brewer Shopping Center, Wilson Street in Brewer, the area's best dollar store. You won't believe what only $1 will buy. Bangor Motorsports, where service is the difference. The premier dealer of Arctic Cat, Kawasaki, and Honda off Outer Hammond Street, Bangor, behind Darling's Auto Parts. And W.C. Bryant's, Bangor's finest jeweler since 1893, and proud to support high school athletics. You never pay more to get more at W.C. Bryant's, downtown Bangor.
Hey, Coach, it's almost game time. Where's your team and your fans?
Where do you think they are at turning time? With an all-you-can-eat salad bar at Miller's Restaurant, I won't see them till tip-off.
If you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through.
Plus a lease rate of just $369 a month with no money down.
It's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
At the Bangor Auditorium, Mike Hale and Tom Winston. There you see the final, a game that Brewer led much all the way. Bangor scored early, but then Brewer held on to that lead throughout the game. There was a big flurry at the end. 3-pointers by Bangor. Got them back in it, but Brewer really strong from the foul line, won the game for themselves, hung tough at the end, and there you saw the final 68-65.
No question, Mike. The key two words as far as Brewer is concerned, foul shots. You know, they hit the foul shots down the stretch and did a nice job tonight from the foul line, and that secured probably the biggest win that Brewers had in a while.
And real strong effort from Brewer. Balanced scoring tonight. Tom Winston, Jason Layton leading the way with 20, Freeman 18, Johnston 16. They've been doing that all year. 3 players in double figures, and look at the night for St. Pierre for Bangor.
St. Pierre was unbelievable. He had 31, and Arsenal had 13, and the number of shots that were close but no cigar for Arsenal were just amazing. And Bangor, obviously being the quality team, didn't quit, made it a game down the stretch, almost pulled this one off, and it was certainly a tough situation.
Well, St. Pierre played very aggressively at the end, and he helped to get Bangor back into this game. Tommy Waterman fouled out, so a lot of the quickness had to fall into the hands of Jason St. Pierre, and almost did the job, but Brewer hanging tough.
You know, we talked early in the game about tempo. I like the fact that the score was in the 60s as far as Brewer's chances to win the ball game, and I think in order for Bangor to win, it has to be a little bit lower. Brewer doing a great job tonight, and I'm sure we're going to see more of Roger Reed and the Bangor Rams too.
Well, we're looking forward to more basketball action regular season here on Channel 5. February 9th coming up Friday night at 7. A big B matchup there point-wise. Orono and John Bapps here at the Auditorium. On the 17th, the girls matchup. Afternoon at 3 o'clock. Coney Old Town, the 1-2 matchup. That should be a great game. And, of course, Brewer may be in a big scrap for points against number 7 Mount Blue at that stage of the season. February 22nd, 7 o'clock. We'll have that game for you at Brewer. So still some great exciting basketball long before we get into Class A tournament coverage. The whole ball of wax will be right here on Channel 5. So we're looking forward to the tournament on Channel 5 again this year, too. So
it's so exciting to be here.
Yes, it is. And 2 big games coming up for Brewer. They have the Mount Blue game we mentioned. Also Presque Isle. Is that coming right up? Tomorrow night. Presque Isle is worth a few points. They're in 10th place as the standings came out by Mike Savage today. So Brewer really has to win the rest of the way, I would think.
You know, we talked early in the game about Bangor and the fact, could they be tired? The situation for Brewer exists now. Could they not only be physically tired, but more importantly, possibly, could they be emotionally tired going into tomorrow night's game? I think Coach Savage, knowing him as I do, he won't allow that to happen. I think they're going to be up, they're going to be ready, and you're going to see the real Brewer team for the rest of the season.
Bangor has 4 games remaining on their season, including a matchup with Presque Isle and a big game against Old Town to end the season for Bangor. Old Town currently the number 3 team, so there's a lot of great basketball still to come. Well, that's going to do it. Brewer wins tonight, 68-65 over Bangor. Bangor's 12-2 now. Brewer is 5-7. This is Mike Hale for Tom Winston, Tim Throckmorton, John Boyer, and the production crew. Thanks for watching, and good night from the Bangor Auditorium.